1938. But did you know it was just an exporting company of grocery and fish?
Grocery and fish,
Yes,
Samsung, you're
yes.
kidding.
Samsung was just exporting grocery and fish. But then, about 1984, they changed all of their vision, and now they're the digital world leader. And
Wow.
they're about a 20 billion company worldwide.
That's amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. But the thing is that it's not very easy to be they're the 19th biggest brand of the world, but they came here by spending too much. So if you want to make branding, then you should think that you should spend too much also.
And is it also still important to be the first in what you're doing?
Of course, the name of the game is being the first. But for example, think of McDonald's, think of Michelin, think of DuPont. There are many, many brands. They may not be the best in their area, but they were the first. For example, according to a survey of Forbes in 2010, about 80% of the companies that just image what their competitors do just bankrupt in 3 years' time. But the ones that have differentiated themselves have been successful in 350%. So that's a very, very key situation. For example, in one of the lectures of the famous Bill Gates,
Yeah.
one of the students asked him, "What can we do to be as rich as you?" And the answer was very, very astonishing from Bill Gates. He said, "Whatever you do, don't do what I do, because all the money in that business has already been earned by me in what I do. So please do something different." So that's the key issue. In my area, it's different. For example, in pharma sector, if you just launch a product with very little side effects, with a powerful efficacy, you may be the fifth, but you may be the market leader. But in other markets, whatever you do, you should be the first.
So it could be a key to have very, very good product, but if you're the first in it, you have
Yes.
a much, much bigger chance.
And the perception is important. For example, there is a very strange survey by Garrison Group. It's done in February 2011. And they say that who want to use BlackBerry and who want to use iPhone 4. And they just group the people according to this habit. And they stigmatize BlackBerry users as people who are workaholic, who are very keen to networking, and who like to just take control of everything.
Whoa,
And
okay.
but the iPhone 4 users are classified as people who have high self-confidence than they should have and who are very creative. But there are many surveys like this. For example, they just group the people.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop you there and ask you, are you a BlackBerry user or an iPhone user?
Well, my company phone is BlackBerry, but my personal phone is iPhone 4.
You have both?
So I have both of them.
That's
After
good
the
balance.
survey,
Okay.
I bought both of them.
That's good.
Yeah. And on the other hand, for example, they just classify the people according to the time they sleep or the time they get up. For example, in the United States, companies, when they want to hire people, for example, they may prefer early birds. For example, if they want to have a stable job, if they want to harmonize the people who enter the company. But if they want creative people who are more or less unpredictable, then they choose the people who get up very late. So it's a very interesting thing in Turkey.
So unpredictable and late, I mean, that might be negative, but it's also the ones who are spontaneous and creative,
Yes,
right? Yes,
yes.
okay. Yeah, I'm a late sleeper, so.
We don't know the exact scientific explanation, but there will be more explanations in future.
Okay. Well, of course, for these brands, it's also important to have customer loyalty. I mean, it's not only about having them buy your brand once, but it's having to come back all the time. How do you create loyalty?
Well, actually, a good brand has two very important issues. One of them is that you should have an excellent product, a unique product. And the second one is that not only you have a good product, but you also have a good after-sales service. The customer has two big stages in its purchase. One of them is the product itself, and the second one is that when the customer experiences the product in the office, in home, or in his daily life. So, if you want to win the customer's loyalty, if you want to have continuous purchases, you must just be very good in these two stages. And apart from this, there is word-of-mouth marketing, the guerrilla marketing. If people want to buy something, they just ask their relatives, they just ask their friends. And as people, or as Turkish people we are keen to talk on things that we are not very fond of, we don't like. If we just find something amazing, we say, okay, it's good. But if you don't like it, we can talk for hours.
Hours, right?
So companies must be very, very crucial when they're just attacking their after-sales services, their customer loyalties.
Yeah, I think the customer service shows if you have good customer service, you feel like they care about you. It's not just about, you know, selling that product and making the money, but it's actually because they
I will
want
just
you to
interrupt you. You know the Domino's example?
Yeah, give me the Domino's
yes.
example.
For example, in United States, in one of the Domino's pizza restaurants, the restaurant was going to be out of pizza. And the head of the restaurant just called the associate vice president of Domino's Pizza and said that we are going to be out of pizza and there are customers here. And if we face such a problem, it wouldn't be very good for the reputation of Domino's. The vice president just took the advice and in an hour he prepared a private jet and sent many pizzas to the Houston. But unfortunately, the jet couldn't be at the airport in early time, and so many of the customers have come to the restaurant and they left the restaurant as there's no pizza. But the employees of that restaurant has been very miserable with that, and just for a month's time they wear black belts and to emphasize their sadness. And this black belt and the approach of the employees has been just spread to all United States, and it's been very, very appreciated by the customers. So it's not only just you create a brand loyalty, it's that you create an employee loyalty also. So it's very important in Turkey, in all over the world. But in order to have such kind of things, you should have good, educated, experienced, qualified, everything, etc.
Yeah, I think that shows the vision of the vice president and the one who is sending the jet, that to show the importance of if we don't get there in time, something bad will happen.
Yes.
Here, I don't know if they would have done the same thing in Turkey.
Well, actually, individually, we see that in many times because service sector is very, very developed in Turkey, and I think Turkish people are